just it seemed like it contradicts itself in reference to the emailing, KYC. I tried to DM Bill Cook to get in touch with him. I haven't received any messages. And, I just don't know what to do. I'm kind of frustrated right now at this point. And I'm sorry to bother you.
No, no bother. It's actually a lot less complicated than it seems. Unfortunately, when you open up your account, it brings you to a page making you think you got to do these other things when you don't. Just click out of that and go to trading. Go to, but I'm not sure what you're actually referring to or
The
looking.
signing, just the signing part is asking for first name, last name, email, and do I just sign in with the ATH? Do I just put the ATH on
Well, I don't know
you
what
know,
you mean, ATH.
the code you gave us at the live when you said, "Hey, come in through my website, through my."
That's only to purchase to join our group, Crypto Renegades. You use ATH to get a discount.
That's what I
Right.
did.
Yeah, so that has nothing to do with Phemex. Phemex is a separate company. That's our trading platform. Are you talking about your Phemex account? Or are you talking about,
Phemex to sign into
you're
Phemex.
obviously here. You obviously here, so you joined the mastermind already.
Right, absolutely. So I'm just trying to sign in
Sign
to
into what?
register to Phemex account to the
Okay,
Phemex account.
that's totally separate from this mastermind. Phemex is the trading account. That's like that's like you joining this account and then going to open up a bank account at Chase. It has nothing to do with us. So Phemex, if you used our link to open up the account, you just click the blue button and you created your account. Are you logged into Phemex right now?
No, but I can.
Yeah, because I'm afraid you might be clicking too many things in there. I don't know. Let me just
I'm
open.
not clicking. I'm actually not clicking anything at all. I haven't even started because I don't even know where to start and how to start.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
have you been on onboarding yet?
Yes,
And the basics call with Bill?
yes.
You've been
Because
on the
Bill says, you really don't have to do KYC, but there's no step by step how to bypass that and actually go in and say, hey, just sign in, forget about the email. Once you do this, you'll see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I get
So
what you're
I'm
saying.
trying to. It's.
Yeah, I
I
get what
mean,
you're saying. Hold on one sec.
it is because on the instructions, if you go to the Discord, the school app, the instructions on there, it tells you in reference to what Phemex wants to do and not to do in reference to the email. But then if you scroll down to the bottom, it'll tell you what to do with the email. So it's kind of confusing to me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be sorry. It is a little
It just
confusing.
sounds like.
It
Uh,
is. Hold on one second.
Mhm.
It is a little confusing. We're gonna get you straightened out. When
I
you
think I think one of the guys on the putting on the thing. I mean, it was Chad. Uh, yeah, I think maybe it was Chad. He was saying you you go ahead and you put in your driver's license and stuff. They don't care that you're from California or anything.
Right.
But wait a minute, guys. You don't need to do any of that to trade on Phemex. You don't need to give any ID. You don't need to KYC. You don't even need to say anything. That's KYC is if you want to withdraw ACH directly to your bank account. So if I come up here, this is one of my sub accounts that I trade on here. Let me come up here. If I go and open, hold on one second. Let me go to deposit crypto.
What browser are you using?
It's asking me to go to Chrome, but I haven't. I
Yes.
haven't even touched. I haven't even touched that. Like I didn't even know what to do.
All right.
Yeah,
So
you got
yeah,
to do it from Chrome, but you should go to Bill's call for sure.
yeah,
Well,
and ask him
I
specifically on the
DM'd
call.
him. Yeah, I sent him a DM, but he haven't responded back to me. I left my phone number.
But let me just show you something here. Once you open the
Sure.
account, once you click on our link and you bypass the restriction by clicking the blue button saying that you're not a US citizen or whatever, it
Right.
takes you to a page, right? Once you're on that page, your account is actually opened. It's just asking you for if you want a KYC and all that stuff. You can just go up here and click any one of these buttons to get out of there. Click on futures, And I know there's no instruction for that right on that page, but and it takes you right to the trading, right to the charts. Now, then you still have to deposit. You still have to do all that. That's where, the onboarding and all that stuff will come in. But you click deposit up here and deposit crypto. And then, you would just get to this page where you're going to pick the crypto you want to deposit. And then this is the address you're going to send it to, not this
Right.
one page, but the one on your page. And then you copy it and you go to Coinbase or whatever, and you send it to that address. And then when it gets here, you come up here and you'll see your account assets right here. It'll show you how much you have in there.
Gotcha.
And if you click on that,
And
it's
that-
going to take you.
Right. I appreciate that. And I think what that guy just said in reference to just going into Chrome, because it's not showing the blue button for other, because you're not, So I think I need to go through Chrome so I can see that page and bypass the email and that KYC information in reference to, your name and ID info. So I think that's what I need to do. I'll try it again today, see what happens. But
Yeah, and get on the onboarding with Bill again today at 2 if you can, if you have time, and let him know the problem you're having. But we can also troubleshoot with our representative at Phemex. She's a big help. She would just need your IUD, which is your up here, when you go to your little thing up here, it shows your UID. I'm sorry, not IUD, UID. And she would just need that number, and then she would research it and clear everything for you and make it so that you don't have any of those issues. But
I didn't get to see that because your picture's on there, on that corner. I don't know what you were clicking on because I can't really see it.
That's on his end, yeah.
sorry.
So is it okay to do that though? Is it okay to give your driver license numbers and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm KYC'd, but KYC it stands for Know Your Customer. They just, generally speaking, if you want to do withdrawals over $2 million a day, then you need a KYC. If you want to withdraw cash, for instance, if I go up here and I click on withdraw, and I want to withdraw fiat withdrawal, see right here, fiat withdrawal, I can withdraw crypto without any KYC, without any problems at all. But if I want a fiat withdrawal, meaning US dollar bills, and I want to wire it to my bank, then it's going to powered by Legend Trading. Legend Trading is a third-party company that's going to facilitate that transaction, and they consent to Phemex to share my KYC information at Legend Trading. Then you will have to do KYC.
How much is the transaction fee for that?
Good question. Let me just type something in here and see. No, I don't have any USD to withdraw. So you have to you have to transfer crypto to USD first. You have to cash it out into USD in your spot account first, and then it'll show here the balance that you have, and then it arrives in 1 to 2 days. Fee balance as far as fees go, fiat deposit, fiat withdrawal, Swift. $50 to $500, 2%, $30. 500 to 9 to 10,000 is $30. 10,000 to 50,000 is 30. I'm sorry, 1.5% plus $30. 2% plus $30. So there are some fees involved there. Might be easier if you have a Coinbase account just to send crypto to Coinbase, and then convert it to US dollar there, and then transfer it out to either PayPal or your bank if you have a bank account attached to your Coinbase wallet. If you already have a Coinbase account, some of you don't, but if you already do, you've already KYC'd, you've already connected all your personal information, your bank cards, your bank accounts and everything, might as well just keep it to that one exchange. No reason to do it with all these different exchanges. So just transfer to Coinbase and then withdraw from there, or crypto.com or Cash App or whatever. You can, I believe that here, even if you do all this, you can bank accounts, you can connect all the different withdrawal accounts, routing numbers, and bank account numbers if you want to do it that way. I personally don't. I've never withdrawn fiat cash from Phemex because I don't like to deal with the third-party processor. Now, the third party, there's nothing wrong with the third-party processor, it's just they do require all that information, KYC.
Okay, Nico. Thank you.
I just use Coinbase. But we'll get you straightened out. Yeah, get with Bill on either the onboarding. Bill's probably on this call right now, but if he's Bill can help you, and then if not, our representative over at Phemex can help. Worst case scenario, but generally speaking, you're just going down a rabbit hole of pop-up screens and stuff like that. If you go into Phemex, if you're just opening your account for the first time, it's probably, giving you the option to KYC. I haven't opened an account in a long time at Phemex, so I'm not sure what it's showing right now, but normally it just shows you a restricted pop-up showing that you're in a restricted area, and then you just have to self-confirm that you are not a U.S. citizen. And then once you click that, your account's technically open with a UID number. And then if you want to go through, providing all your personal information,
I think everyone has to now, Nico. I think everyone has to KYC right now. That's my understanding. To withdraw funds or I think even to deposit now.
Oh, I didn't
But they
know
got
that.
it.
It's recently changed. It's been a pain in the ass, to be honest.
Okay, I'm going to ask my rep right now in another chat and just see.
Right on.
But I did not know that, so I apologize.
I talked to Chad about it once.
And he said that's true.
He said he was going to reach out to the rep.
Did you get my my DM, Bill? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm behind this morning, guys. I got a few
That's
DMs
all
I
right.
haven't been able to read yet.
Okay, I sent you my info through your DM. I believe. Hopefully, I did it correctly. So
I don't see it.
For Saturday morning at 9.
Saturday morning. Yes,
That's
I
what
got
you
it.
told me.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we're good. You're booked.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys, for your time and support.
Yeah, no
No
problem.
worries.
All right, I sent her a message now, so I'm sure she will respond while we're
Awesome.
on this call today.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, guys. Yesterday in the chat, I posted this. We had basically a EMA moving average ribbon bearish flip here. When we're above it, we're bullish. When we break below it, it's bearish. Now, can it reverse? Yes. Let me show you what has to happen. And I did say here, EMA ribbon flipped bearish. We would need to hold a daily candle above or below 113.5. If we hold it above, and it will be a bearish flip, meaning it will flip back over to bullish. I know that might be confusing. That's why I'm explaining it. A bearish flip means it's bearish now and it flips, and we will liquidate the shorts by shooting up. Anybody who's short will get liquidated if it flips this bearish ribbon and goes back to the upside. If it closes the daily below 113.5, then this can drop much further. We'll go over that on tomorrow's call. Right now it is below, and overnight it popped up to 113.3 and then dropped back down. As I was saying, it needs to hold above it. I think it was like somewhere in here when I posted that last night. And it popped up to 113.3, didn't quite get to 113.5, but it would need to get above 113.5. And that is right about here, which is the top of this ribbon. Let me go over here to.
Was that ribbon one of the options of the chart kind of the overlay?
Yeah, you can do it on TradingView. I'm going to pull it up right now, see if I can get it on here. Let's go down to. Let's see what that was, the daily. Let's go to the daily. Basically this blue line right here is the 50-day moving average, but let me I don't like it the way it does it. So it's the EMA ribbon for crypto on TradingView. Let me go back and show you there. This right here. When we flipped it here, we did pop back above. This was just back in June. We did get below it here, but the difference here is we dipped below and then popped right back above. Here we went below it and retested at the top of the ribbon and came back below and retested under it and retested under it. So this is what usually happens when that happens, unfortunately, unless it pops back up. So if we stay under it, this could be, we could be flipping bearish. Now, this is not me being doom and gloom. This is not me being bearish. This is not me saying that the bull market's over or any of that nonsense, guys. I want to be clear on that, because some people think that, and I have said that, I have thought that we were possibly at that level again. I have said that before on this. When we were here, this was in January when we were at 108, 109, and we did drop quite a bit. I mean, this was, let's see, from January 20th all the way to April 20th before we popped out. That was 3 months of dropping from 109, 108 all the way to 74.5 before we broke out. We flipped bearish, and it doesn't need to last long, but it can last. It can last a bit. And the fact is that if this lasts, I'm thinking probably to this upward trending support, which goes all the way back to 15.5, the bear market bottom. You hit it here, wick down to it there, wick down to it here, and this could be maybe a little tighter over, but just to make sure these both touch, and then that we're not far away from it. We're not far away from it, but I'm thinking that we could come and hit this. And, I've had this circle here for a while. You guys remember I was saying we can come down to 104. In fact, I gave signals not that long ago where my take profit target was down in the 104 range. Right here, entry, stop loss, TP, first target 104.5, second target 97.9. Okay, and that was the break of the giant M pattern above the 112. Let's just zoom out and look at it. This is the giant M pattern above the 112. I'm just going to do this here. This is that's the 112 right there. This is the big M. This is the depth of the M right there, from the top of the M to the 112. This is where I was saying we could break down to. That would bring us somewhere into the 100, the 97, 98 to 104 range, and possibly back into this old previous bullish flag, maybe just to retest the top of that. And, we broke below, we retested, we dropped down a little bit, hit the bottom of this downward trending support level here, bounced back up, hit it, wicked up high above to 113.3 just today, this morning, overnight, and then it's kind of still, that's a long wick to the upside, guys. You see that on the daily? I said we need to hold above 113.5 on the daily. That is a super long wick to the downside. It is kind of teetering on green right now, but it would need to go all the way back up to here in order for that to remain green. And it would have to open up above, close above the 112, and then ultimately above 113.5, where that ribbon is. Where'd my ribbon go? Oh, I got it on the other chart. So let's go back to their chart. It's wicked right up to the top of that ribbon and pulled all the way back down to here. So, sorry, but it's based on technical analysis, that's bearish. Now let's look at the RSI down here. Obviously, we still have bearish divergence. Let me go to the weekly. It's up a little bit here. Obviously, we still have some bearish divergence here on the RSI. Okay, so my representative just so you guys know, my representative at Phemex says, no, Nico, hello, Nico, no, it's whitelisted. You can share me some UIDs so I can check it out. So if you're having an issue with that KYC, guys, post your UID in the chat or send it to me privately on the chat here. I will send it to her. She will get you cleared. I think that was who was that? That was that, I guess.
Angel, I think it was.
Joe.
There's been quite a few folks. There's quite a few in the chat. That's really good to know. Thank you.
Hey, Nico,
Yes.
did you not get stopped out of Bitcoin and ETH and XRP?
Yes.
I didn't. You did, and you re-entered.
I don't think so. Let me go look.
Nico, you were long, but it looks like you're short now. So,
Oh, yeah, that was just, let me see, when did I place this? Did I put that in as a signal? I didn't put it as a signal because I wasn't really sure that we're going to hold here. I think, this long wick up here kind of concerned me. I did say in the group that we need to, this was just an update right here. I'm waiting for the flip. I'm waiting to see if we flip to this because it is possible this could have been a fake out and we just pop back above it because that has happened before. So let's just go back. So on this, that was just like right before this call. Let me just see. My entry was 110,870, which is just a little higher than where we're at right now. I didn't put a signal in because I'm waiting to see if we have a candle holding above or below the 113 on the daily. And this is the daily time frame right here. I am technically in profit, but if this thing just kept, if we opened up and this just came up here, I would be pretty negative. So I didn't want to, that's a more risky play. I really wanted to see confirmation underneath or above. So I didn't reverse the position. In fact, I got out of all the positions that I were in. What were they? I think it was XRP. These four right here. I was in profit. I closed out. If those of you that were on the live call last night, I closed out two of these live on that call last night. I just closed them that took profit. This one was up like 300 or 400, and this one was up, I can't remember what it was, but my BTC was negative and it did hit my stop loss after the call. Laura, to withdraw to my Coinbase wallet, I had to KYC and Google authentication. I use Google Auth also. It confirms, it sends me a code, it emails me and all that stuff. But I have been with Phemex since the beginning, and I believe I did KYC when I first opened my account. But they're saying that you don't have to. And I'm not sure why some of you are having this, because not everyone is having that issue. So
Hey, Nico, if it doesn't hold to the 113.5 by the end of the day and dips down, are you going to short?
yes, I'll give a signal to short. I'm already in a small short right here, but I will add contracts to it, and I will probably increase I won't increase the leverage because I'm at 25x leverage on the short, but I will increase the contracts if I see confirmation. You can see this daily is, let's go to a lower time frame and see what's going on. The daily is still teetering up and down, but in a nice big red I mean, this is a confirmation candle right here, guys, on the 4 hour. We did confirm above it right here, above the 112, that is, and held. So even though this candle wicked way up high and then dropped back down below, it is possible that we do climb back up because this confirmation candle here. But we've had that happen a couple times before on the lower time frames where we get above, had a couple candles open above and then still drop below. So I don't put too much weight in that on the 4 hour. On the lower time frames, let's go to the daily. On the daily, we don't have any confirmation. That's why I say it needs to hold above on the daily. A whole daily candlestick above this level would confirm to me that we're probably going to climb back above the bearish ribbon. And so I'm a little hesitant to give a signal to short that right now. That's why I just did it. You know, it's just instinct for me. It's just kind of it's kind of like unconscious when I do something, but it doesn't mean that I would advise others to do it. Just so you know, when I put a signal in, I'm cautious and I'm careful to make sure everything first so that you guys don't get in a negative situation. But sometimes I just do it real quick while I'm not paying attention. And that's not always advisable, but it does depend on your circumstances and what how much funds you have in your account and what your risk tolerance is, how far negative are you willing to go before you cut a loss. You know, if you're going to stay in a short, let's just say that you're planning on the bear market or a bull market, doesn't matter whether it's the beginning of a bull market or the end of a bull market. If you're going to go short for the long term or long for the long term, in other words, it's not a scalp. You just want to hold that position until it finally goes and does what we all think it's going to do. Well, you're going to have to withstand some ups and downs. You're going to have to go positive and negative a few times before it finally gets deep. You know, let's just say that I personally thought that the top was in and I think we're going to go into a bear market. And I go short now, I'm running the risk. You would be running the risk of going positive and then maybe going negative, real negative, and then going positive, and then a negative, and then positive, and so on until it finally did and finally went into that bear market. But if you're gonna take that risk here instead of waiting for it to break out of this upward trending, support, then you just have to understand that it could go up and down, and you could be positive, negative for days or weeks before it finally does what you want it to do. So just like down here, guys, if you would have went long here at 17K, which we were calling the bottom in this group, we were calling this the bottom in the group back in 2022. Because it broke out of the long running downward trending resistance from the bull market top all the way down to this, and it broke out here. So we were ready to go long for the bull market, but it dropped it went from 20K and dropped all the way down to 15.5 in one fell swoop on a weekly candle. Boom. Because it was retesting this line. It broke out, but it retested. And then it climbed and went. So if you would have got long here, you held it, you would have been pretty negative right here. If you didn't get liquidated or stopped out, you'd have been pretty negative. But it would have been one of the best positions besides getting in here. This would have been, imagine going long at 17.5. But you would have had to stomach this for a little while before it finally climbed out. So that's dangerous. It's risky. Better maybe to wait for real confirmation, maybe the breakout and the retest. That's why I always recommend you guys wait for the retest, even though sometimes you see I'm already in. That's because I'm taking a much bigger risk by doing that, and I don't recommend that. And I know it's contradictory. I know it's like hypocritical sometimes, but it's not, because my responsibility to you guys is to give you signals when I feel very confident about a trade's direction. And I'm still not always right. But if I just gave signals every time I did something, that would be kind of irresponsible for me to do, even though I take full responsibility for my irresponsibility. And sometimes I'm right, and sometimes, and it's not that I'm wrong. Even when I do it without giving a signal, it's not that I'm wrong. It's just that I might be premature. It might not be ready to do what I wanted to do yet. And I know I might go negative for a little while first, and I don't want you guys to suffer through that with me. Because it's not suffering for me. It doesn't affect me emotionally. But to answer your question, yes. So on the daily, if we hold underneath the 113.5, underneath this ribbon on the daily, this whole candle, and then the next candle opens underneath, yes, I will be given a short signal. That still doesn't mean it can't flip. Let's just look here. I'm on the daily right now. I mean, we went below here and we popped up here, but see what I'm saying here? Like, this is a good example. I'm on the daily. This candle popped up and the next candle opened on top above the ribbon. I would not be given a short there. Okay. If this went all the way up to here and then came all the way down to here and the next candle opened down here, then I would be given a short. And that's kind of what happened here. We came up and we wicked all the way to the top of the EMA ribbon. We look at that. I mean, it sliced right through it all. Boom, 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 boom. And then just came right back down. How accurate is this? Well, I mean, if we just go back, I mean, it's a serious indicator that big traders who have a lot of money on look at, because whenever an EMA ribbon flips and we flip from being on top of it, bull, 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 we dipped our toes into it, bull, bull, oh, we get underneath it and hold as resistance underneath it. This is April 2024 to May of 2000, a whole month of going down. That was a short-lived one. Here we get underneath it, retest underneath. This is June 15th, July 15th, another whole month of just, and that it's not just staying under it, it's huge drops. Look at this one. We got under it here. This green candle, look at this. This green candle wicked down below it. This candle couldn't get back above it. The next candle opened below. Boom. All the way down to that line. We wicked down below. This candle wicked up, couldn't get above it. Boom. I mean, it's kind of irrefutable when you look at it. When you look at it all. That's what happens sometimes when you get under the EMA ribbon on the daily.
So when we're trading on Phemex and we're just doing the free, the mock stuff. So what are if we're getting like $4,000 credit, how much should we be betting of that in if we're going to do it for one day? Because you get 4,000 a day, right? When you play every day.
No, you start with 5,000 and then you get matched your deposit, whatever your deposit is. And then you can get up to 500 a day if you need it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Are we talking about are we talking about in the mock trading?
Yeah.
What do you mean deposit? You got to deposit money in mock?
When you deposit your own funds, they match that deposit in mock.
They match it in the mock. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Which is a cool feature. Okay. And then how much you should risk, you definitely want to come to the basic call. No more than 1 to 3% of your total trading capital. So in mock, you start with $5,000. That means at your stop loss, you're risking $50 to $150 at the stop loss price.
Okay.
Yeah, I would rather you practice the way you should be doing it with real money so that you get good at doing it right. I mean, they say that practice makes perfect, guys, but that's not actually true. Only perfect practice makes perfect. If you just practice doing things the wrong way, you're going to get good at doing them wrong.
And you get some bad habits too.
Yeah, exactly. So no, just because it's fake, just because it's not real money doesn't mean you should, throw caution to the wind and gamble the whole thing, because you're going to build a habit there of doing that. And then you might get lucky. That's the problem with the mock trading. You throw $2,000 or $3,000 or the whole thing on a trade, and all of a sudden you double your account and you're like, shit, this is easy. And then you go to real trading and you think you can just double your account that quickly, and you end up losing, half of your money because you risked the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not the same rodeo. It's
No.
definitely not the same 8 seconds.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if I get you said if you get $5,000 at the beginning, and so what should we be playing with? Because when I put in my real stuff,
50.
I'm only going to have like $500 because I'm not rich.
At the stop loss, you would lose $50 to $150 if you're being very careful. So at the stop loss, there's a negative P&L number. It'll be in red. 50 to 150 is your range, and you're
Okay.
safe.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So let me just show you right here. So down here, I'm in a short position at 110.8. If I come over here to TPSL, I don't think I put a TPN or anything. It was right before this call. So let me go over here. If I go to stop loss and take profit target, and instead of typing in the exact amount of my stop loss, I just come over here to stop loss percentage ROI and click on that. I could just click 10%, right? 10%. And if I click confirm, my stop loss goes right here at 10%. 10% of what? 10% of my margin. So if I'm risking $832 on this trade, but I'm at 25x leverage, I'm playing with $20,465. But if it goes against me and hits my stop loss, I'm losing 10% of $832, which is $83 as an example. So I might have 10,000 in my account. I may have 5,000 in my account, but I'm only risking $832 of my margin. So, and how does that work is that, let's just say, see the 25x leverage over here? You take 20,000 contracts, divide it by the 25x leverage, and that comes out to your margin. So if you're over here, and let's say you got $5,000 in your account, but let's say you put 25x margin, and you slide this to, I don't know, let's say 30%. So you think you're going to trade 30% of your account balance. So if you got 5,000 in your account and you multiply that by 30%, 5,000 times 30%, you think you're trading $1,500. But if you're at 25x leverage, that's only with no leverage. If you add 25x leverage, then you take the $1,500 and divide it by 25, and you're really only risking $60. And this is where most people get confused. The leverage increases your percentage gain on the move. So regardless of whether I have $60, $600, $6,000, $60,000, or $600,000, if this moves 5% in the direction I want it to move, let's just say this goes from my entry right here down 5%. 5% is a lot. So let's just go to 5%. Boom, right there. 5%. See it right there? It says 5.01. So if this drops 5%, if I have no leverage at all, I'm going to make 5% of my $833. 833 times 5% equals $41. But because I am at 25x leverage, I will make $41 times 25. So I will make $1,041 on that trade. Okay, so the leverage, the 25x leverage, is making it so this 5% move is now 125%. It's 5% times 25x. So I don't have to risk 600 or 60,000. I could risk $60 and still get a 125x return. I mean, 125% return at 25x leverage. Just know that the higher the leverage, the lower your margin. If you want a higher margin and a high leverage, you have to add more contracts. If I want to change my leverage right now from 25x to 50, watch what happens. If I come up here and click this and I move this from, let's just say 25 to 30x. Let's just go to 30. Watch down here. My margin is $833. As soon as I click confirm, $833 just turned into $693. I added 5% more leverage or 5x more leverage, and my margin went down. So if I want to get back to 833, I need to come up here and add that many more contracts, which is only 5% more, or whatever it was. I have to add that many more contracts to increase my leverage. So I'm going to add that short, boom, and now I just went back up to almost 800, 781. That's just an example. I wasn't being precise, but so when you increase your leverage, your margin goes down, not up, because you're taking more risks. And so the platform automatically reduces your risk by lowering the amount of money you have at risk. Now you can change that by going adding more contracts, which will increase your margin. And you can also increase your margin right here, just where it says margin. I think you can just click on that. I used to be able, right here, BTC. You can just click on that and you can add margin or remove margin. But by adding or removing margin, I don't believe it's going to affect the amount you make. I think you need to increase contracts.
So what is actually the margin? 'Cause I got kind of confused on that.
Say that again.
What is the margin? Because you're putting money in and you have your stop loss, but what is the margin? What does that mean?
So if you put $1,000 in your trading account, that's the total amount that you have transferred in to your account. So you have $1,000 worth of USDT or Bitcoin or whatever, but you want to trade 5% or 10% of that. Let's say 10%. That means your margin will be $100 on that trade. You're only risking 10% of your account balance. So your margin is the amount you're risking on this trade, not your entire account balance. Did that answer your question? Yes or no? Your margin is just
yes, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Got it.
Okay, no problem. Margin is just the amount you're risking, not your entire account balance. Now, guys, in order for you to only risk your margin, you need to be on isolated leverage. See up here, when you click on leverage, it needs to be on isolated, which means it's isolating your risk to just your margin, the amount. If you're on cross leverage, then your liquidation is going to be far away. Guess how far away? It's going to be so far away that if it hits your liquidation, that's everything in your account. So it allows you on cross leverage, it allows you to go much further negative than your margin. You might only have $700 margin, but on cross leverage, unless you have a stop loss in place, you're risking your entire account balance if it goes against you, if it goes all the way to your liquidation price. So unless you know what you're doing, keep it on isolated. There is a place for cross. Chad, Bill, everybody does use cross leverage. There is a purpose for it. But if you don't know what it means and you don't know how to use it properly, keep it to isolated until you get familiar with things.
Where do you set that at, the isolation button?
Right up here when you pick your leverage. You click on leverage, up here at the top, you can go cross or isolated.
Okay, thank you very much.
Keep it on isolated. Yep, you're welcome. For now. And then learn more about cross and, get on Bill's calls. Bill will show you and talk to you about the differences, and he can explain it now if he wants, but
just stay on isolated if you're trading CoinM. That's my biggest piece of advice for those that are brand new. If you're in CoinM, stay in isolated. I've seen folks accidentally forget their stop loss and lose their coins. There's nothing like losing your coins to watch the coins go up in value.
Yeah. Some people get liquidated and they don't have any more money in their account. They're like, I thought if I got liquidated, it's only the amount that I was risking on that trade. It is, but you were on cross, not isolated. So you gave it room to use more money than your margin. So with that being said, there is some nuances here, guys. There is some stuff to learn. Don't kid yourself. I do, talk about that even on the live webinar before you join. I basically tell you this is like learning a new language. The difference is that you don't have to be fluent to make money. You don't have to know everything to make money. You just need to understand the basics. You need to know how to get in and get out. And then as you continue to grow and as you continue to learn, you become more and more fluent. So don't worry. Don't think you have to know everything in order to make this work. You just need to get started. You need to You need to understand the basics. So that's why we have a basics call with Bill, because once you know the basics, you have the basics understanding down. You watch some of the step-by-step tutorials, which is the basics, the intermediate, and the advanced. And that's just a 30,000 foot overview, kind of like of how everything works. You don't have to even memorize all that, but it's good to get a basic overview. And then you come to the live calls and we explain things like we're doing now. We take trades, we answer questions. And as you continue to show up and take action, you become more and more knowledgeable. And within a short period of time, you know way more than most people. And then you're taking trades on your own. Like somebody asked on the live call last night, are all of these trades in the win wall, are these people taking signals? No, not all of them. Some of them are signals and many of them are not. I mean, I didn't give any signal for Arrow. I didn't give on yesterday, I didn't get Cheryl. Cheryl's killing it over here on Ethereum, Solana, and ENA.
Luke's killing it too. Look at that. He's got a page of wins. Luke does.
Luke, yeah, look at this. Nero ETH, USDT. I think I might have heard of that one once. So look at this. Holy shit, Luke. Is Luke on this call?
I don't know if he's on here today.
5, 6,
I don't
7,
see him.
8, 9.
Hey, he's killing it.
10 trades. All. I mean, if you average it all out, 10 trades, multiple triple digits returns, all concurrently, simultaneously on that day. Oh, I'm sorry. There's more.
There's more. He's killing it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 10.
And he's trading on his phone. He's one of the best traders on his phone. It's amazing because a lot of folks we have, it's a little smaller, it's a little harder to navigate. And he does use the PC when he can, but man, he kills it on a phone.
That's right. Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to get him on to do a little training.
Trading on the phone is tough, man.
Yeah, Luke uses RSI. He's looking for overbought, oversold. It's kind of like Jake. Auction market theory, which is imbalances, your fair value gaps. And then MEXC gives them a big advantage, no fees and really high leverage. So that's part of it. You don't need to be there very long at that high of leverage. And trend lines.
So how do you make those little things like that?
These little screenshots. So when you're trading on the platform, you come down here to unrealized P&L. Like right now, I am up $4. If I click on this little thing, it's going to pull this up, and I can do a snippet, use the snippet tool, and copy it like this, and then share that, copy and paste that in the group. Also, you can switch here from P&L to ROI. Now, when I'm trading on a Bitcoin margin, it's going to show it in Bitcoin. But when you're trading on a USDT margin, it shows the actual dollar amount. You switch to ROI to P&L down here.
Nico, I have a question.
And when you do share it, just share this part. Don't share the referral link and all that stuff for just clip that part out. Yeah, go ahead. Everybody's already got an account, so there's no reason for you to share that in that group.
Hey, as I understand it, leverage tends to work both ways. Is part of the magic here that Phemex employs is that, we're only using the leverage. I mean, if the trade goes our way, we use the leverage to make extra money, but if it goes against us, we cap out our losses. But I thought leverage works both ways. Is that all just part of the Phemex magic here?
No, it does. It does. That's why we use stop losses and relatively tight compared to your your entry and your contract size and all that stuff. So that's why I'm very hesitant to give signals unless I'm pretty confident in the direction, guys, because especially I can't control your leverage. Only you can. I have no idea. I notice when I look at the wins wall over here, some people are at ridiculously high leverage, 200x. $50x, $12x, $100x. Josh would. So now I don't know if he started the trade with lower leverage and then increased it, because that's sometimes the case.
Most of us are just trading with high leverage to start
Nope.
with.
Nope, just high leverage the whole time.
Yeah. And the reason why, guys, the reason why you see some of these ridiculous gains with high leverage is because if I take a trade, let's just go back over. Right now I'm in profit. If I want, I can increase my leverage to 100x, right? If this continues down, I'm in profit right now. Let me just do it just to show you. Let me go up here. Let me go 100x, confirm, boom. Watch what happens. See my stop loss right here? My stop loss is right above my entry. Let me just go back and see if you can see it. Right here is my stop loss. My stop loss is at 10%. If I go to 100x leverage, my liquidation will come probably closer in between my entry and my stop loss. So you're taking more risk with higher leverage. Confirm. Boom, look at that. Liquidation popped right down to where my stop loss is. Now my stop loss is still in between, but now I can lower my stop loss even more. Let's see, where am I going to put my stop loss? Let's go and look. I just moved my stop loss to 26%. So my my liquidation is still outside of that range, but I am now at 100x leverage. So what does that mean? But look at my margin. It went down to $243. I was at $700-800. So I'm risking less money by increasing my margin, my leverage, but I'm also giving myself less room to hang myself because my liquidation got a lot closer. If this goes against me, you can, I have a stop loss in place, so that's why it doesn't matter. And that's why Josh and these guys go with 100x leverage, because they're still putting the stop loss in place in case it goes against them. But now, if this starts to go into profit at 100x leverage, then I will make a higher percentage gain faster at 100x leverage than I would at 20x, let's just say. But unless I increase my contracts back up, what's the difference, guys? If you're at 50x leverage, if you're trading $500 margin at 50x leverage and you double your leverage to 100x and your margin goes down to 250, okay, what's the difference? You're making 100x on 250 or 50x on 500. It's the exact same. So the only way to fix that is for you to add more contracts. So if I want to get my margin back up to where it was at 800, now that I'm at 100x leverage, I need to increase my contracts back up. All right. Let's just try that and just see what happens. Short. Okay, everything changed. Now I'm back up to $852 margin at 100x leverage. So I just fixed that. So now I'm back to where I was with the same amount of margin at 100x leverage. But as you can see, my liquidation is much closer than it was. It was way up here, and now it's here. So I don't have as much room for mistakes now. Now, as long as this goes in the right direction, I will have a crazy percentage gain.
Yeah. And I only use 1 or 2%. I only slide the bar 1 or 2%. I'm not using a lot of money on those trades, like a percentage of my account balance.
Yeah,
just 1 to 2%. That's it.
That's a great point, guys. So when you see multiple triple-digit gains, now 2% of someone's account balance could still be a lot of money, but if you're gonna play the high leverage game, there's no reason for you to be risking tens of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars. You could be risking $50. Okay, so let's say you got a 300% gain. You see a lot of 300%ers in there. You turn your $50 into $150. You made 3x on your money. Now, did you get rich? No, but your percentage gain is still huge. Your ROI is still huge. And if you do that on a regular basis, once a day or so, let's just do the math, guys. It's not rocket science. If you make even just $150 a day, let's just say you use that exact example that I just gave, and with $50 and you're making $150 a day, you're still making $4,500 a month. Now, will that change? Yes. Let's say you do that for a month and you make $4,500, and now instead of risking $50 on the trade to make a 300% gain, now you up it to $100, and now you're still getting 300% gains. Okay, you just doubled your monthly income, and by the way, that is now 6 figures per year with only risking $100 per trade. Imagine when you get to $1,000 or $5,000 or any of that, because it's all relevant to how much you have in your account. If you're risking $50, maybe let's say you have 500 in your account and you want to risk 10%. That's $50. Let's say you have 100,000 in your account and you want to risk 10%. That's $10,000. So you have $10,000 and you have a 300% gain. You see the difference there? Instead of making 150 bucks, you're making $30,000 on that trade. Do that every day and see what happens. And by the way, there are people that do that, guys. You know, this is not, you know, just because it may seem outrageous to you doesn't mean anything. I know guys who have $6 million in their account and make 300 grand in a day like it's nothing. They make enough to buy a new Ferrari every day. Without even risking much of their account because they have so much money in their account.
Or 3 Bitcoins.
Exactly. You guys, I mean, I already introduced you guys in our group. Well, I didn't introduce you personally, but in our group, if you go to the official links channel in Discord and you scroll up to Market Cipher, this is the my referral link for Market Cipher. This is the indicator bundle. It's not, I don't get, you know, this is, you just get a discount for using my referral link. I don't get anything. I've already paid for lifetime access. It's $1,500 for lifetime. And that is basically this right here. That is, where is it? That is this down here. Let me just show you. This is Market Cipher. And the guy who created Market Cipher is CryptoFace. This down here is Market Cipher when I'm on Trading View. And it's basically every indicator that exists all bundled into one, all wrapped into one. And of course, their website teaches you how to read it and how to understand it and all that stuff. But CryptoFace trades on YouTube. I don't normally ever refer people or recommend people go and follow other people. He doesn't teach really. He just trades live and shows off because he's promoting this, which is his little baby, his indicators that he created. He does have a Discord group, but he doesn't really give trade signals. He doesn't really teach people how to trade. But if you already know how to trade, you know, you want to use his indicators because, you know, the green light, red light kind of system that he has here kind of tells you when to get in and when to get out. But if you were to go and watch this guy trade, I'm just gonna YouTube right now and just show you because it's kind of hilarious actually.
Yeah, sometimes he gets crazy and puts a 30% off on that Market Cipher. So that's when to get it. It's like $1,000.
Yeah, and you can still use my link, and if he's giving a discount, you'll still get the 30% off. Oh, by the way, guys, I have a new video that just posted, so would love for you guys to go over to my channel and check it out. That is this one right here. Just went live at 11 a.m. This one right here. But if I go up here and go to CryptoFace, I want to just show you this guy because he's kind of funny. I mean, this guy, he's a young guy. He's like in his late 20s, makes millions doing what we do. He covers his face. He has a mask, not because of COVID. He always wore a mask. He just wanted his privacy. He didn't want people bothering him in public.
Training is everything.
And he trades live, usually. I don't see any live here, but sometimes it's so sometimes he's making, look at this, $20 million he's trading with on that trade. 150,000 and like a lot of times you'll watch him trade and he'll make 100, 200 grand in 10 minutes like it's nothing. Doing the exact same thing we're doing. He's just got a lot more money in his account, so it's easy for him. 500K profits on this one, 80K profit. So the funny part about him though is that his commentary, because when he's trading live, he sounds like he's drinking straight whiskey and he's rapping and he's saying the most crazy off the wall shit you've ever heard. And he's very entertaining. He's like one of those little genius guys that doesn't really care what you think, doesn't care if he sounds ridiculous or stupid. And so he's entertaining that way. I'm not going to play it right now, but you can go watch him if you want. But he created something pretty amazing here, which is which is Market Cipher. And it's probably the best trading bundle. I mean, as far as indicators go. And this is just Market Cipher B down here. I can come up here and add A. I can add A, which is the ribbons as well. I can add other things onto it that basically show the, you know, the highs and the lows and all that stuff. But down here is depending on what time frame you're trading on, this you have to understand these wave patterns and what they mean. And when the money is flowing out and curving, and when there's dots, red dots, green dots, and this line down here when it's green and when it's red, there's an explanation for all that stuff. I'm not going to go into it here. If you want it, you can go get it. You can use my link or his, whatever, doesn't matter. I don't really care. You're going to get the discount either way. Whatever the current discount he's giving is, he allow for any of his existing customers who has a referral link, they your discount automatically gets applied. So it doesn't matter if you use mine. I would prefer you use mine because I don't know what I get out of it. I've never received any money from him, but I think I get something. I don't know if it's just VIP access to his Discord or something. But anyway, long story short is a lot of us are, you know, stressing out over $20, $50 here, and there's people trading hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars doing the same thing you're doing. The only difference, guys, is they've just been doing it longer and they figured things out. They've grown their accounts and they're not taking bigger risks. They just have more money in play. And so even a little 1% move with, you know, 100 grand on the table at 20x leverage, which means you're trading $2 million with 100 grand of your margin, and the market moves, you know, 1% in your direction, you're up 20 grand like it's nothing in 5 minutes. All kinds of tutorials explaining how that works over there, so you can go check that out.
Hey, Nico, can we take a look at XRP?
Yes, sir. XRP.
Seems like we're in that zone from like 277 to 288 and just kind of chopping.
Yeah, we're still in this falling wedge pattern here, and we did bounce on this line of support, which was the 270 range, going all the way back. And we hit it, wick down to it here, and we just hit it again here, which was a couple days ago on the first, and we're still have not broken out of this downward trending resistance yet. We're still kind of winding into this wedge. We're kind of on the center line still. It looks like if I go to a lower time frame, you'll see we were in a downward trending. This is what happened. We hit the bottom and we were trending up back to the top, and we broke out and retested and created a whole nother little channel. And this was the big pump that when Bitcoin just pumped up, this pumped, and then look at it, dropped all the way back down. Perfectly right to retest this previous resistance as support. Is it going to fall through? Not sure. Where did it pump up to? Interestingly enough, right there, $2.88, which was previous resistance here and resistance here. It's having a problem getting above that. Support there, resistance there, support here before breaking through and retesting. Support, breakthrough, retest. So it is a major resistance level at this point. Having a hard time. It climbed all the way up to the top, hit it, didn't even make it to the top of downward trending resistance line yet. So what I'm expecting to happen here on this one is that probably will consolidate. It could go down again, but even if it goes up, it's probably just going to retest this line. Maybe one more time here. Wick up to it, which is the same as this, wicking up, wicking up. Sometimes it does that, where it wicks up above the downward trending resistance to a previous resistance level or support. And then again, here.
Also, November 22nd was supposedly a date out there that Swift would have to abandon their their MT protocol, or whatever you want to call it. Is there any merit to that, where they would have to either choose another, whether it's XRP or something else to help them through this transition?
What date did you say?
I heard it was November 22nd. That's what I found on the internet. I don't know if there's any merit to that or.
Yeah, it's November. I just don't remember the exact day. So it is sometime in November. I'll get the details on that. We'll definitely talk about it when the time comes, but we're waiting for a switch to flip, guys. They could be all getting set up and ready to go for that to happen. I think the courts did rule that the banks, if they're going to need liquidity or buy into XRP, that they had to do it on the open market rather than privately behind closed doors from XRP directly. Because if they did that, it wouldn't affect the price, and it wouldn't be fair to all the retail holders out there. But so from what I understand, this is one of the few cryptos right now that could literally shoot from $2.80 to $25, $50, $500, $100, $500, like with the flip of a switch.
Also, what do you know about Flare? Does that play into this at all?
I don't. Does anybody have information on that? I don't know.
I believe Flare was supposed to possibly do like a DeFi type deal where you could actually stake your XRP.
There are people like that. Jake Lab, what's his name? I can't remember his last name.
Claver.
Yeah.
They offer a service where, once you're structured properly and you have your trust and your holding company and all that stuff, your LLC set up for your crypto, that you can, borrow against it, get insurance policies and borrow against it and invest that, or put it into those types of higher yield staking and yield farming type of situations through them. I did not, I am still in the process of trying to get him to maybe do a call with us for our group. I had a representative of his reach out and said that they would discuss that, but I have not heard, and it's been a couple of weeks. I did follow up because he wants $5,000 just to have a consult with him. And you can consult with other members of his team for $300. But I would like the fact that we have hundreds of people, maybe even thousands of people that he could speak to all at once. I was trying to see if I can get him to just do it for free because, he stands to gain some clients, right? So it's kind of like a give and take. If I give him an audience, a captive audience of people in crypto space who are already interested, he might find some time to get on a call with us. And that would make more sense to all of us, right? Rather than me paying $5,000 to have a one-on-one consult with him. But it would be in his interest because some of you might hire him to help you. So I'm working on that. It's not the easiest thing sometimes to get a hold of these people, and they want to vet you and make sure you're real and all that shit first. And I want to vet him, make sure he's real. But yeah, they do provide all those kinds of services and help people to make the most of their money. It's not just a matter of getting enough XRP so that when the price goes to the roof, that you're rich, because then if you have it on an exchange or you have it in a cold storage wallet or whatever, how are you going to use that money? It would be foolish for you to just spend it. It would be foolish for you to just sell it. And so that's not what smart investors do. That's not what wealthy people do. They borrow, they figure out how to leverage it because it is a goose that's going to be laying the golden eggs. You don't want to sell your goose. This is what dumb money does. This is what people do when they win the lottery. They just immediately go buying things and they think, oh, well, I'm rich now. I don't need to worry about borrowing or lending. I don't want to have any debt. I'm just going to pay cash for everything. And then soon they find out that they have no money left because they spent it all on depreciating assets. Nonetheless, they buy cars and jewelry and things like that, and handbags and purses and all that kind of stuff. And before you know it, they're broke. Big screen TVs, stupid stuff. No offense to, I mean, we all want that stuff. We all need that stuff, but but you can do it the right way. Whereas you never sell the asset that's printing the money for you every month. And then you pay for all that stuff with the revenue that's generated by the big lump of sum that you make. So if you got, let's just say 10,000 XRP and XRP goes to $1,000, you got $10 million. I mean, is it possible for XRP to go to $1,000? Yes. Some people are saying 5-6 digits, $25,000 possible. Look at it. Look at XRP like being able to buy Bitcoin at $13. XRP at $2.80 right now is like being able to buy Bitcoin at 13 bucks. Now, all the planets have to align, all the things have to happen in order for XRP to hit those outrageous numbers. They do have to have a majority of the Swift transactions up to like 14%, but it seems to me that they're the biggest player in the field, working all these contracts out and getting all of this set up. And so that seems to be possible. Yeah, I'm not sure, John. I've seen that somewhere, and I also saw him say that to reach out if you have at least 50,000 in crypto. So I'm not sure. You know, some of you may not be ready to have that kind of structure or to worry about it at this point. Just accumulate, just get more of the XRP. And
Nico, can you look at Doge and ETH and tell me on the 4-hour time frame if you consider that consolidated?
say that one more time. I'm sorry. I was just reading something when you were talking. Say that one more time.
Can you look at Doge and ETH on the 4-hour time frame? I was marking it up. To me, I think it's consolidated, just going back and forth on that price, not really moving. So I'm just trying to learn what's happening.
Yes. All right, so here we got ETH on the 4-hour. ETH, I mean, it is bouncing on the upward trending support that goes back quite a ways, all the way back to, June. Not that far, but a couple months at least, trending up. Let me get rid of some of these lines here. We do have a couple of falling wedges here that we broke out of. We have another one that's happening right now, and it could be breaking out, but it bounced out and came down and retested, very similar to Bitcoin's little pump. I'm not so sure that this is in the right spot. Or if this would be more accurate here, and that we just came down to retest. We do have some kind of interesting situation here where it's literally below this upward trending support line here. It's done that a couple of times. I might not have that line in the right spot. Let me just dial this in a little bit. I mean, listen, if this breaks this downward trend line, holds as resistance underneath and starts to drop, this peak up here at nearly 5 grand at 49, whatever the high was here, 49. What did we get to? Looks like about 49.50 for Ethereum back here on August 25th. Would correlate with the 124.5 for Bitcoin. And we can look at Doge real quick. We need to stay above this line. And there's been a couple times when it's wicked down a little bit below it and then pumped back up. This one wicked below it, came a couple candles below it, pumped back up, and now we're below it again. Doge is winding tight into an apex. 4 hour. Got a big W on 4 hour. Possible break to the upside here on Doge. Support. Resistance, some resistance here. We wicked all the way up. Double top of the W. Winding down a little bit right here. We could see a big move. Where would that bring us? It would bring us possibly right to that level right there. If we break to the upside. And if we break to the downside, interesting how that lines up perfectly right there. We could, I mean, we're hitting the bottom of the upward trending, this current, most recent wedge here. And if we break to the upside, I wouldn't be surprised if we made a higher high, because we have a high, higher high, higher high, and that would bring us right up into this area up here. If we break to the downside, then we could just come down and retest this area like we have done every time we've made that high. Down to the bottom, high, down to the bottom, high. Could be down to the bottom before we hit a high. So I would wait for a breakout of this wedge one way or the other.
That's a breakout and a retest.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the smart thing to do, because we could wick above it, like here. It could wick above and you might think, oh, it's breaking out. And that could just come right back down. So it should break out and hold as support. Unless you get here's the thing, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you whether it's going to retest. Sometimes we break out really high and then it starts to consolidate up here before going higher. So it doesn't really come down to retest. That does happen every once in a while. So normally it will just break out and hold above the line before climbing.
So you didn't really answer my question. So what it's doing right now is, in your opinion, is not considered consolidation.
Oh, it's consolidating right now into this wedge.
Okay. I didn't know if the wedge, it can also meaning it's consolidating.
Yes.
I don't really hear you say the word consolidation that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's winding, it's consolidating, it's winding into a wedge. The highs are lower and the lows are higher. So it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It's like a spring, it's consolidating. And if it breaks out, we want confirmation, which is another term for retesting. Confirmation just means, is it going to stay above the resistance? If it breaks to the downside, is it going to stay below the support? In order to know, it needs to confirm, break out, confirm, which is retesting. And then we would go short once it gets a little lower than where it broke out. If it breaks out here and comes back down and retest here, you really want it to get higher than where it broke out before you go long. Otherwise, you could have a situation where it breaks out, comes down and retest, bounces. You go long here on the bounce because you think it's retesting, and then it only comes up to about here, and then it falls down lower again. And what we have is a high, lower high, and lower high, instead of a high and then a higher high. What we really wanted to do is break out. In a perfect world, break out, retest, get higher than that previous high, and hold that as support. This is support, don't get me wrong, it's breaking out and holding support here. And generally speaking, as long as it gets higher than where it broke out, that's usually an indication that it's going to continue, but not always. So if you're really playing it safe, you want to wait for a breakout, a higher high, and support above that first high. And you might say, well, if I enter long here, because it's holding the support here, that's great. You still get a nice gain, but it wouldn't be as good of an entry as if I got in here. That's true. It wouldn't. But getting in here is premature because you don't know if it's going to do this yet or not. Sometimes you'll see me in right on the breakout, but I didn't get a signal yet because that's very risky. Because I'm expecting it to break to the upside, like this one, for instance. I would be expecting this to break to the upside. But that doesn't mean it's going to. It's not a guarantee that it will. Just because this is upward trending right now, that is a good indication of something. But this was upward trending too. It hit the top and came down to it, and it bounced here, but then it fell through and retested. Fell through, retested, and went down lower and hit this bottom line again. So this bottom line has been hit after retesting this line. This was the first one, hit the bottom, came back up and made a higher high, still hit the bottom, came back up and made a higher high. And so far this time, it did not hit this bottom yet. So what's more likely, that we just break out here and go up, or we come down and continue down? This line right here could just continue down to here, and then it would look like this one. You know, basically look like that one. This one's more of a winding wedge, winding into this though. This one didn't do that. It just went up, hit the top, bounced on it for a second, and then fell through. This one went up, hit the bottom, bounced, hit the top, had made a lower high, hit the bottom, came up, made a lower high. So we have a ceiling and a floor winding into a wedge. I wouldn't go long or short on this until it breaks out one or the other. But if it breaks at the bottom, I still wouldn't go short. I would wait for it to bounce on this line. But this is the more major support, this line here, going all the way back. And it is upward trending, which is positive. This whole thing is upward trending. If I go to a higher time frame, it might even be more obvious. We also have another issue on when you look at it from even a higher time frame. We do have an upward trending floor. We also have a obvious left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, which is bearish. If we do break the support, where could this take us? Is this possible for Dogecoin to drop that far? Yeah, let me see what percentage that would be. 200%? Maybe not. 90%? Yes. 75%? For sure. Possible. And where would that bring us? Back to this area here. This is speculation, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but I can tell you this: if we have a market crash, if Trump has problems with these tariffs, if all of a sudden it's time to have a crash in the market or some kind of disruption in the world, we could see a 70% drop in crypto and even as high as 90%. Has that ever happened before? Anybody want to answer that question?
Often.
Yeah. Let me go back over to TradingView. Go to the weekly I know I've done this before a few times, but just for illustration, just so you guys know, see. Every one of these pullbacks from an all-time high. I mean, now these were bull market tops, but the only reason we know that is because we already went into the bear market and then came out to a new bull market top. But from here to here was 93% drop. This was not even the top. We hit a top here, we pulled back a little bit and then shot up even higher. This is all the same bull market. From here to the bear market bottom, 87%. This top down to the bear market bottom, 84%. This one, bull market top, down to the bottom, 80%. Happens often. %, not 80% right here would bring us right back down to 70K. And not only that, but I would not be surprised at all. 70K is the line. It is the mean. It is what we have to stay above. I know we're far away from it right now, but 70K, I've been saying this on many calls, many live calls. I've been saying it for a while. That 70K is the magic number in this bull market that we have to stay above. Hold on one second. I'm trying to pull up the chart. Where to go? Right here. It's not even the right one. That's not the right one. Ah, here it is. Now this white line is 70K. Right here was previous all-time high in 2021 at 68K right there. And we hit the 1.6 on the fib, double topped and went into a bear market. And this is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The red area is phase 3 of a bull market. The blue area above that is phase 4. We went through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We are in phase 4 right now. We went all the way up to 124K, which is somewhere up here. When this screenshot was taken, it was like right around 112. So we've already went above that to 124, and we're back down to this level right here. We need to stay above this white line to stay in the game for this bull market. So having a 70 and 80% drop would just bring us down to 70K, which is not even a big deal. That happens over and over again. And if we bounce, if that did happen and we bounce, we still have a potential by the end of the year to get all the way back up to this 1.6 on the fib, which is 176K, because in every bull market so far, we hit that, every one. In addition to that, every one we hit the 2.36, except for this last one. But we always hit the 1.6 so far. Does that mean it's guaranteed that we're going to hit it this time? No. I mean, we hit from the previous two, the first one and the second one, we hit the 2.36, and we didn't hit it in 2021.
There's 4 cards. And
if you're not talking to me, mute yourself out. So it's neither alarming or concerning. It is what it is. I mean, these are market cycles. As you can see, we come all the way up and then we go down. We come all the way up and then we go down. We come all the way up and then we go down. We come all the way up. When? How far? Until we come all the way down. I mean, just because
you have the law of diminishing returns, so we may not even get to that 1.6 because we didn't get to the 2.36 last time. So, and may just slowly drop, law of diminishing returns. You can't always go up forever.
That is a great point. And so what does he mean by that, guys? Let me show you something else. The law of diminishing returns, which is something that is a real thing that's happening. If you look back here in the beginning of Bitcoin, we had huge, 1000x gains, 1000x from the bottom up to the next bull market top. Then we have 100x, and then we have 15x, and now we have 8x. See this curve? This top line is curving, and we are hitting it already. Are we really going to break through it this time? Is this going to be the time that we get through the top? We haven't yet ever. So, you got to look at all this stuff. I'm not negative. And by the way, we're further along than this right now. We are up here somewhere. But law of diminishing returns is that every bull market top is percentage-wise is getting less with each bull market. We're making higher highs. The price is getting higher, but the percentage gain from the bottom to the top is less. It's 8x. We were down here at 15.5 in the bull market or bear market bottom, and we went up to 124. That's about an 8x. But from here, this bear market bottom to the top here was like a 20x. From here to this one was like 100x. From here to this one was like 1,000x. It's neither good or bad. It just is what it is, and we just have to play accordingly. So most of these things that we're looking at, XRP, Ethereum, Dogecoin, they are correlating very much so with Bitcoin. Not all cryptos are, but the big players are still. They have not decoupled yet. Now, there will come a time when XRP breaks away from Bitcoin. There's such a thing as Bitcoin dominance. There's such a thing as altcoin season. Is it every time? Is it guaranteed that we're going to have an altcoin season? No. Is it guaranteed that everything's going to decouple and take off separate from Bitcoin? No, but it seems to happen in all the bull markets so far. And there's some major catalysts that can happen that will cause Bitcoin to finally break out up to the 400, 500K range and then the million range. And that's just institutions and major companies all putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets. The government's buying the million Bitcoins like they promised, all these things. When this starts to happen, we have a supply and demand issue, and prices just continually, gradually go up. And that is slowly happening. It's just because it's like we're a frog in a pot of cold water, and they're slowly turning up the heat. You just don't feel it. You just don't see it happening because it's taking so long. But if you just go back 10 years, we were down here for Bitcoin and 0.000 cents, like a fraction of a penny. Imagine if you just would have bought $1 worth of Bitcoin right here. $1 worth of Bitcoin right here. $1 worth of Bitcoin right here at 2009 would be $10 million right now. Nothing in my lifetime has gone up that high in that short a period of time in value. Like a 10 million% gain. So it is moving up, and it's going up quite a bit. It's just that it's hard on a day-to-day basis when you're looking at these charts to see it. Come on, man, it's stuck at 100K for months now. Yeah, but just a couple months before that, it was stuck at 75K. And a couple months before that, it was stuck at 49K. Let's keep that in mind. Yes, I know we want things to happen quickly, but so you need to have some patience, and you got to be strategic here because we could have a big dip, a pullback before the big pump back up to the upside. But if we do break this upward trending line from the bottom here, down from the 15.5, then yeah, that could be bear market territory, but it's still temporary. It would be quite a bit of a dump down And it wouldn't be all at once. It would be slow. It'd be over the course of a year. Boom. And then we're back into bull market. It would look very similar to all these other big moves. Well, there's one more back here. I didn't see. %95. Yeah. Crazy. It's crazy town, crazy world we live in. Gene, yes, but can they print more XRP? No, I don't think they're making more of it. They have reserves. They're releasing like 1 billion of them to the public or to the open market or the retail market, like I think on a monthly basis. Not sure. So right now, however, they also have a burn rate. I can't remember how much it is, 5,000 XRP per day or something like that they're burning. But when they start to go into, the Swift network transaction and they need a certain amount of XRP to put into stablecoin and to convert into an equal value of stablecoin to keep it level. So the price, like for instance, if XRP shoots to $10,000 per XRP, it will stay there. It's stable. It'll be stable. I mean, it could continue to go up over time because there is a burn rate involved. There's a lot more to it. It's way more complicated than I even know how to explain, but I've heard it explained to me a few times, and I've heard it explained a few times by various experts out there, but it doesn't matter so much what the cap rate is if quadrillions of dollars per day is being processed on the XRP network blockchain, then the price would have to be 4 to 5 digits in order to accommodate that type of volume.
Nico.
Yes.
The escrow is holding XRP for Ripple, and it's released 1 billion every month to Ripple, and it's their discretion what they do with it. They usually lock more than half of it back up into escrow at a longer time frame.
Yeah.
So it's rolling forward into more than 10 years from now before it can be depleted.
Yes. So if you ask, are they manipulating things? Yes, they are, but they have to, and it's for the greater good. Are there controls and levers in place? Yes. It's like a dam, there has to be. And it's the proper thing to do with the quantity that exists. And over time, that will stabilize and things will change. And as it becomes more used, the use case or the utility, the price will continue to go up over time. But listen, XRP has been around almost as long as Bitcoin. In fact, it was created probably by the same people who created Bitcoin. It was probably the beta. Bitcoin was probably the beta tester, and XRP is probably the real deal. Bitcoin will stay a reserve currency and not a reserve currency, but a reserve hedge asset, store of wealth. Whereas, and on the balance sheets to regulate the US dollar, I don't think the US dollar is going anywhere. The US government wants to continue to have US dollar dominance around the world. And the only way for them to do that is through crypto. The only way to do that is through stable coins at this point. There's a crypto correlation chart.
Interactive, you can see 1 year, 1 month, 7 days to see how it's changed over time. You can add coins, remove coins. It's very useful.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks, Bill.
And Kimmel's right. There is one on TradingView. That's a good one. If that's not already in TradingView indicators, I'll get that added. Kimmel, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. Marlon says, if for some reason the Supreme Court doesn't hold up the tariffs, the money collected so far may have to be refunded to importers, countries, if they decide to sue. That would be a big problem, Marlon. But I suspect that the Supreme Court will back Trump on this. It's these courts, these Democratic, it's these anti-Trump judges that are doing this, trying to throw wrenches in, ruin his reputation, and they're willing to ruin the economy just to get Trump.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I'm like, I can't see them not, agreeing in his favor, but just in case if something did happen, I think that would, you were talking about crashes. I think that would be maybe a catalyst for maybe a crash.
Yeah. Interest rates, all these things, the jobs reports, all these things that are coming out right now are not necessarily positive. And, guys, we are due. It's not a question of whether, everything's going good now. Trump's in office. He's doing all this positive stuff. There's big things behind the entire world economy that are already in motion. And some of these changes that Trump has made may slow down something or may fix something, but it can get worse before it gets better. It doesn't mean that what he's doing isn't the right thing or isn't working. It just means that, you're going to stop a freight train from hitting a building or from derailing. You can cause a lot of damage trying to stop it from doing more damage.
It's kind of like Superman. He fights off, but he destroys the whole town.
Right. Yeah, the greater good. Even Trump admitted it. I mean, he said it many times that, it might get messy. It's not always pretty. It might get worse before it gets better, but it was a necessary thing. All of the fraud and all of this had to be exposed. No, I don't think listen, I'm not a red hat wearing MAGA. I don't go to the things and I don't care about any of that shit. And I would never do that. That's not me. But that being said, this guy has overcome. I mean, I'm 57. I've been watching Trump for 30 some years now in the public eye, where everybody loved him. He was on every talk show. He was doing funny skits on SNL 20 years ago. Everybody wanted to interview him. Everybody wanted to shake his hand. Everybody wanted a picture with him. As soon as he switched from the Democrat Party, which he was, to Republican, they all just went against him. And then when he ran for presidency, they just started bad mouthing him, coming up with all kinds of lies and all kinds of crazy shit. I saw that happen. For the young people today that are liberals, and everybody's a liberal until they get older and have to pay some bills, and then everybody switches later. But for all the young people who just say, "Oh yeah, but he's a this, he's a this, he's a racist, he's a this," that's all bullshit. Okay, the guy's done more. I mean, I haven't seen anybody in my lifetime accomplish more, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of impressed with his accomplishments, even though he gets in his own way and says some dumb shit a lot of the times, puts his foot in his mouth a lot of times. It almost seems to work out better for him when he does that. A lot of people are like, "Oh, don't say that. Oh, why did you say that?" But then later he spins it to his favor. It's almost like he's intentionally doing this stuff in order to come out on top later. That's why they call him Teflon Don. He doesn't lose. Very rarely does he lose. Even when you think he lost. Even when but he filed bankruptcy. So what? He had 600 companies. 2 of them went bankrupt. That's the price of doing business. Not only that, but he took a big loss and he employed thousands of people at the Atlantis casinos when that happened. Thousands. He gave those people jobs and opportunities. Yeah, but these people lost their jobs. He gave them the jobs. He provided the opportunity for them. If things worked out, they would have been very happy. They were very happy. And they were all sad to see it not work. They all love Trump, all those people. But it's the people that go and complain about it and say it's, oh, he doesn't know anything about business. He's dumb. Are you kidding me? You cannot be a 5-time New York Times best-selling author, the top #1 rated sitcom TV show, a billionaire. Even if you started with 20 million, doesn't matter. I give any one of you $20 million. Let me see if you turn it into 6 billion. Let's see how hard that is. Okay. You can't even turn $100 into $10,000. Are you going to turn 20 million into 6 billion or 10 billion? I'm not talking about you guys in general. I'm just talking about people in general. Most people that think that that's easy to do. Became a multi-billionaire and also became the president of the United States twice. How could you possibly be stupid and accomplish all that? It's almost idiotic when people say that. And so anyway, with all that being said, I'm just saying that even with good things he's doing, he could cure cancer. They're going to say he's an idiot and it doesn't matter that he cured cancer. Look at all the damage he did. It's like, it doesn't matter what he does. So I don't listen to all that nonsense. I look at the results. Just like anybody in life, you should always look at the results. If anybody is talking about someone in a negative way, you should always hear both sides of the story first. There's actually 3 sides. There's the other person's in the truth. You should always ask yourself if what they're saying is helpful and does it matter, and is it true? Those are the main things whenever somebody's talking shit about somebody. But with all that being said, guys, even Trump, who's overcome all the obstacles and flipped all the representatives and flipped the Republicans and flipped the House of Representatives and flipped the Senate and the Congress, none of these things are easy. It's almost miraculous that all this has happened. If you really look at it, it's almost amazing that this guy's able to do all this shit and still get on TV and smile at 80 years old. And they're still saying, oh, there's something on his hand. It looks like he's dying. Oh, he's acting weird. Oh, I think he's losing his mind. It's the dumbest shit in the world.
What did Albert Pike say? I think he said something to the effect of, when the people need a hero, we will provide them with one. I've had a hard time chasing down that quote, but it sounds like Albert Pike.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I love how people complain on their phones and living in the satellite era, and all that stuff was brought to you courtesy of Nazi scientists, but they don't condemn it.
Most people don't know it. Most people watch Captain America and they think it's fiction. That's what's funny.
That's exactly right. There's so much ignorance out there, guys. It boggles the mind. So sometimes I see some post, especially if it's like someone I know or in my newsfeed or someone that I know, and I actually type out a response, which is very intelligent and very correcting. But who am I, and why is my opinion right and theirs wrong? I type it out as if I'm going to click send, and then I just delete it and go about my business because I don't have the time or the energy to argue with people anymore. But I do feel good typing it out sometimes. So as if I'm going to send it, it's almost like I did respond, but then I don't, because it's just not worth my time and energy, because you're not going to convince anybody. The people who know, and the people who don't, they will learn eventually. But and I'm not
Da Vinci said there were 3 kinds of people. He said there were people that could see. There were people that could see when they were shown. And then there were people that could not see.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I always like the one where, you can please all of the people some of the time, and you can please some of the people all of the time, but you cannot please all the people all the time. All right, so this is a trading class, and here I am talking about Trump. I got off track once again, and I don't remember what we got onto. The economy and what can happen. So generally speaking, from my experience, the opposite of what you think is going to happen usually happens. That's the way life is. I am up about $300 on this short, but I never gave a short signal. But it does look like we might have a bear flag from an M pattern on the 10-minute on the lower time frames. We did have a little bit of an M. We also have a bear flag, and we might be breaking to the downside of that right now. Where will that take us? Probably just back. I mean, we were in this okay, let me just zoom out a little bit. We broke out of a downward trending channel. This is Bitcoin. The one that from the all-time high all the way down, we broke out, retested. We made a high, and then we made a higher high, and we came down and retested again, and then we even made a higher high. But we did not hold above. We did not hold above here when we made this high. We went above it, but didn't hold and fell back through. And then we did not hold above this high. We went above it and then fell back through. And it looks like we might be breaking this, you know, we might be breaking this little bear flag to the downside. I'm not so sure yet. We could be some fake outs happening. Also, keep in mind, I know that's what I just said here, but look at this. We also have a double, we had a bottom here and a double bottom, and then we had a higher low, another higher low, another higher low. And are we just now testing that bottom support level? So don't be so quick to go short here because we want to break this first. It looks like it's breaking a bear flag. We wicked down to that line, but could this be a fake out? Because sometimes bear flags do break to the upside, especially if they're up against support. But this big pump and dump here, that was a big drop. And that was the fake out of the day. So we'll see what happens here. So and for me, if we get back above this, the reason I haven't had a line here is because we had some resistance, and then we had some resistance here, and we broke through it. And we could be coming into another little apex here. I am on the 1 hour, so it's not necessarily as accurate, but if you're a scalper, you might want to look at this kind of stuff. Or if I get rid of this, and if I just look at the channel itself, this could be upward trending channel, bottom, tops, bottom, top, and we're at the bottom right now. So we want to wait for that. It did break out of the downward trending, overall downward trending falling wedge, and it could just be now a trend reversal to the upside. That's true. But this line right here is the 112. I'm going to change the color of it so you can see it. That's the 112, and we need to be above it and hold a daily above it in order to really go back down to the daily. We are below the EMA ribbon on the daily. And it seems to be getting rejection here. We wicked all the way up to the top, and now we're red. So even though I just showed you on the lower time frames an upward trending channel here from here to here, and a possible breakout of this overall downward trending channel from here to here, and a possible trend reversal going up, we are getting rejection underneath the EMA right here. We're also getting rejection under the 112, which was major resistance and support, resistance going back quite a ways. We also possibly, this could be a cup and handle, which could break to the upside and pop right through. And we do have a breakout of, so we have some conflicting information happening here. We have a breakout of a downward trending falling wedge, which is normally bullish. We have a cup and handle, which is normally bullish. We also have a trend reversal after the breakout, retest and holding and wicking to the top and now coming back to the bottom, maybe bullish, but we are underneath. We flipped bearish on the daily, on the EMA ribbon, and we have not been able to get back above that. And it happens to be right at the 112, which was the major support resistance level. So we are up against major resistance here. So my guess is, if I were to guess, I would say that we possibly will see further dumping down to where I originally had my little circle before bouncing and breaking out to the upside. And if we break this upward trending support going all the way back to 2015, then that would be probably something else to consider, that we might see much further bearish move to the downside after that. But seeing that there's 3.5 months left of the bull market, if I go to the monthly, somewhere up here, on the 12-month, we have 3 months and 27 days left of this candle, which brings us to the end of the year. These 12-month candle, each one of these candles is 12 months. And every bull market top, you can see every bull market top. And then there's 4 candles after that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the top of the next bull market. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the top of the next bull market. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in the 4th candle on the 12-month time frame, and we have 3 months and 27 days left. Whatever this candle closes at now, in the next 3 months and 27 days, whatever the top was is probably the top, only because so far it's always been the case. On the 4th candle after the previous bull market top. So we have 3 months and 27 days. We could go all the way up to 180, or we can come down to 70. And if we come down to 70 and the 3 months and 27 days is up, and the next candle starts at 70, that means that 124.5 was the top, because that was the top of this candle. But if we stay in this candle for the next 3 months and 27 days, and it comes back up, goes past 124, goes to 140, goes to 150, and then comes down a little bit, by the end of that 3 months, I will call that the top, and then I will short it. Either way. Once we get really close to that 3 month, 27 days almost being over, me personally, I'm just gonna call that the bull market over at that point, even if it may not be, because it's always possible that this time is different, guys. It's always possible, but I'm just going to go with what history has shown me. The trend is your friend until the end, and until this 4th candle on the 12-month time frame is no longer the top, it always has been. So until then, I'm going to just assume that it will be again, and I'll be shorting that. That's just me personally. If you have
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead. Yep.
The red candles, are they pretty consistent in terms of percentage of drop compared to the higher one beside them?
Yeah, I showed that on the other chart, but as you can see, this was an 84% drop from the bull market top to the bottom. This one was a 80% drop from the bull market top to the bottom. This one was a 87% drop from the bull market top to the bottom. This one was 90%. I don't know if I have that in the right spot. 88% drop from the top to the bottom.
If you stop sharing your screen, Miko.
Oh,
No, I don't. I thought it was me not seeing it.
okay. What I was just showing you is yes, they're very consistent. Top of the last bull market to the bottom, 80%. Top, 84%. Top, 87%. Top, 88%. I don't think I have that one right. There's only so many. There's only so many bull markets and bear markets, so we're in the 4th one right now. So all of these red candles have been 80% drops from the top, which would, as I showed on the other chart, if we were to drop, let's just say 124 was the top, that would bring us to 80% would be, it would be a lot, guys. It would be a huge. I mean, $124.5 right there. Let's just say 3 months go by and we don't get higher than 124.5 and we go into a bear market. It doesn't mean it's going to go 84%, but if it did, that would be somewhere down in the 30K range. And if you guys have been in this group for long enough, you probably heard me say a year ago, 8 months ago, 2 years ago, that 30K was never retested. If I go down to the lower time frames, once we broke through 30K right here, This resistance right here was major support and resistance in the last bull market. 30K. Boom. Went all the way up to all-time high 64.5, 30K. Boom, boom. Went all the way up to 68K, 30K. Boom. Retested it here. And then went to bear market. Then came up in the bull market. This bull market came all the way up to 30K. Hit it. Boom. Hit it again. Boom. Couldn't get through it. Finally broke through here and never touched it. Never retested. Normally we would retest. So is it possible that we retest in the next bear market? Yes, I think it would be. And it wouldn't even be out of alignment with all the rest of the bull bear market drops. Not only that, guys, but think of this. The last bull market top was 68K. Double that, and what does that bring us? 68,000 times 2, 136K. We could run up to 136, no problem. That's double the last bull market top. If we drop down to 30K, what does that bring us to? It brings us to double the last bear market bottom at 15.5. We were at 15.5 in the last, we were at 68K. We went from 68K down to 15.5. That's an 80% drop. That's like going from 136 down to 30. Same thing. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm prepared. If it does, we'll be prepared. That's the good thing about being in this group. Zach, where can I find the replay in the future? The Facebook group? Yes. Ted answered your question, but yeah, in the private Facebook group, not the free one. All of these are live streamed to that group. So once this is done, once I end this call, which by the way, guys, onboarding right now, get over there. Chat. Bill already posted the link in the Zoom chat, and it's also in the Discord under announcements and in the main chat. Get over there if you're brand new, you want to get on the onboarding with Bill. And even if you're not brand new and you've been on one before, get on another one, especially if you're still a little confused about the basic stuff. We're going to wrap it up. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me just look at my calendar and make sure I don't have another call right now. I got one in 15 minutes. Any other questions? Diane says, Nico, you said you are prepared for 80% crash. How are you prepared? To short it. I mean, I don't know, exactly when it's going to happen, but if we drop past a certain amount, I know we're in bear market territory, I'll be short and we'll write it down and we'll accumulate a lot of crypto on the way down. I won't really know until the end of this year if where the actual top is for this bull market. But the problem with it is that if 124.5, which is the high that we're at right now, is the top, I won't know it until the end of the year. That's the problem. And we could be all the way down at 85 by then. If we go down to 85 by the end of the year, then that means 124 was the top. That means we missed a lot of short. We could have shorted at 124.5 and stayed in that all the way down to 80. So that's the problem with it. But knowing is important, because once we know, like when there's like a week left or 2 weeks left of the year, and we're at like, let's just say we're at 105K, then chances are we're not going to shoot past 124 in the next 2 weeks. I mean, it's possible, but it's probably not going to happen. So I would just assume that 124.5 was the top. But if over the next 3 months and 24 days, which is almost 4 months, we get back up to 150, 160, 170, and then start to drop, and we only have a couple weeks left until the end of the year, then I would think that's the top and we'll be ready to short. That's just me personally. And you guys don't have to do what I do. I'll be giving my opinion on that then, but we still have the rest of this year of the bull market. But we could flounder. We could flounder right now between 105 or 100K and 120 and just go sideways until the end of the year. That could happen too. And I won't mind if that happens. It just means that, it's just we'll be able to short it at a much higher price. There are some things that would need to happen, guys, in order for us to really think that it's over, that the top is in. I'll show you real quick before we wrap the call up. And that is this upward trending support going back to 15.5 here. If we break through that, and we are close to it. If we break through that and hold that as support, I mean resistance, we have a little bit of a ways to go. Let me just show you where we're at. It's a little bit of a ways to go. But if we break this upward trending support line to the downside and hold as resistance, then yeah, this is the upward trend line from the beginning of the bull market. Now, here we broke through kind of and then pulled back up, and we even retested, but we never made a lower low. Started to curve back around. So we'll know when that starts happening. If we break through it, retest, and then drop lower and then have lower lows, then we know. But right now we are below the EMA ribbon on the daily, which means we flipped bearish from being bullish for a long time. I mean, a long time, guys, all the way back from April. We've been above it. That doesn't mean bear market. It just means we could have a big dip like here. Back here when we hit 108, 109K, we flipped bearish on the EMA and we dropped all the way to 75K before breaking out.
Nico, what ribbon is that? What
That was a 32% drop. That's the
what indicator?
EMA
Okay.
ribbon, EMA ribbon on Trading View.
Okay, it's on Trading View. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you won't. I don't think you'll find it on Phemex.
Is there a trading view for free, or you have to pay for it?
I believe so. I don't believe you get all the features, and you only get one or two indicators. So I think I pay like $19 a month for full, for a lot of extra features, but
It's actually fantastic. The free version of TradingView.
Okay,
you
thank
have
you.
access to all their free indicators, but you can only use about 3 of them at a time.
Right. So if
But you can use the indicators that have very many functions.
Yeah, see, if I wanted to add Market Cipher right now, I'm going to get this pop-up window telling me I need to upgrade. So in order for me to use Market Cipher, I have to delete or block one of these other ones. So let me close out the EMA ribbon and turn it off. I don't even have to delete it. I just have to turn it off so I don't see it. And then I can go back up here and add Market Cipher B. And then it just pops up under here. So you just can't use them all at the same time unless you upgrade.
Nico, who's the maker of the EMA ribbon? Because there's about 50 of them.
On TradingView, I type in EMA ribbon and I go to the one for crypto. The first one, community crypt,
Thank you.
CRYPT.
Nico, how accurate is the EMA ribbon?
It's accurate on the daily. And so if you look
daily, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's accurate, but it's the daily is the one we look at.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
By the way, they have fantastic sales during what is it? Thanksgiving, I think. I think we get it like for $200 for the premium per year.
Yeah, I think they do that on major holidays.
Yeah.
Valentine's.
Guys, if you're going to be a professional trader, like if you really want to learn this and really get good at this, I would recommend that you have the upgraded version. You don't have to have the super, with everything. You only need to have a few different indicators at any given time, and you can always close like I just do. I just turn one off and then look at the other one. I don't need them all at the same time. But if you're going to have Market Cipher, then you really don't need all the other ones, but you do need the paid version of TradingView to have Market Cipher in order to upload licensed software. And you can have TradingView on, if you have two monitors, you can have TradingView on one and have your Phemex on the other. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We are still in a little bit of a strange pickle right here with Bitcoin. We are going into a weekend. We are having a hard time holding above the 112. We went above it. drop back below, creating a bearish flag. We are in an upward trending channel and we're at the bottom of it. So that could bounce and reattempt and maybe even get higher. That's what needs to happen in order for that EMA ribbon to flip. And it is possible to flip. It can flip back to bullish. But if it doesn't, then what will happen here is that we will not be able to get back above 112. We will fall back below this, and then we will continue down further. And then it just could be a continuation. It could just be a continuation. Please mute yourself out. Whoever's talking.
Is he tired?
Whoever's tired, please mute yourself out. If
I'm
you're
just
tired.
thinking like jet lag, it's maybe pochvera.
Well,
we got home in the middle of the night.
All right. Someone's not paying attention, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end the call. And we're going to wrap it up. And if I see any changes here real quick, or if I think that you should short this, I will put the signal. I am currently short myself with a tight stop loss, but if I think that you should short it, I will let you know in the signal channel. Get on Bill's onboarding call if you're brand new. If you're not already there, you should already be there. If not, stay tuned. I might go live. I'm not going to say I'm going to go live tomorrow because you have company coming over. But if I see anything strange happening or I think there's something, I'll record a little Loom video and upload that.
This is the worst time.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your